What is going on, everyone? Platinum Beast coming at you with yet another video today. Today we're going to be taking a look at where spot price ended up for this week. We're also going to take a look at the community post I posted towards the beginning of the week. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, everyone, and as you can see here, I have the spot price chart pulled up for you all today. And of course, we're going to start out looking at platinum. And we're going to go down to the 3-month chart, or the 1-month chart, excuse me. And it looks like we started out the week at 1038.42. And we ended the week at 1055.76. So we are up for platinum as far as this week is concerned. It looks like we're up about $17 and a few cents, but overall I would consider that a definite up. Now, as far as where the week went, we saw it go from 1038 to 1042 to 1050 to 1054 with a small dip towards Friday, but it ended up the week ending at 1055.76. So overall, it's a definite up, but it's not a crazy up. So we'll just have to see what happens. But one thing's for sure is it looks like we are seeing a lot of upward momentum. So I don't know if we're going to see a downward momentum here soon or not. So it might be a decent idea to pick up some platinum while it's still below 1100. Could it dip below that $1,000 mark again? It could. It is totally possible, but nevertheless, I don't think below 1100 is a really bad place to be at. So if you buy it and it goes down a little bit, I would assume it would just go back up. So that's just my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm not stopping buying platinum, and I don't think you should either. But it's interesting to see how we're seeing this sort of upward momentum. We haven't seen below $1,000 spot since about October 7th. So we're looking at just over 2 weeks of post $1,000 spot, and we haven't seen it go below that in just over 2 weeks. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens next week. We could see it go back down. Only time will tell. But interesting stuff for sure, and if you guessed platinum up, you were correct. So moving on, we are going to take a look at gold. And for the 1-month chart for gold, we're looking at starting out Monday, October 18th at 1764.02, and we ended up ending the week at 1829. So that's a pretty solid gain for gold, if I do say so myself. That's around $35-ish. And that's not a bad place to be at all. $1,800 spot is something really good to see for gold. As far as when it was last at $1,800, it looks like it's been quite a while. So it looks like the last time it was at 1,800 was right about September 14th. So we are heading back towards these higher numbers that we saw. Will that momentum hold? Well, we'll just have to wait and see for that as well. But nevertheless, gold is a pretty solid asset to have no matter where you really buy it at, in my opinion. And that's the way I look at gold, is I just buy it, and the price matters much less for gold than it does for industrial metals such as platinum and silver in my mind. But nevertheless, we are seeing quite a bit of higher numbers than we have in the recent weeks and even the recent month. So that might be something to pay close attention to. As far as the 3-month chart for platinum, we're looking at 1055, and the last time it was at 1055 was not that long ago, to be honest. It was literally the week prior. So it looks like we saw a dip towards the beginning of this week, but then it slowly recovered. So that's interesting. Now, I usually start out on Monday, close, and then see where it closed on Friday. But that is something to kind of take note of, is it did kind of stay where it started out before the markets opened. And with gold, we are seeing a good bit higher number than in recent weeks. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the silver chart. And silver started out on Monday, October 18th at 23.19 and ended the week at 24.45. So that's pretty solid in my opinion. It's looking like silver is going back up to that $25 marker. So we might be having to give it to none other than Bionic Fishy Fishy, because we're getting really close to that $25 spot price mark, and we'll just have to wait and see if that holds, if it grows from there, or if it starts to go back down once it hits that mark. I think that's a pretty substantial mark to hit, so that'll be interesting to see in the upcoming week what happens as far as silver spot price is concerned. But nevertheless, we are up over $1, so I consider that up in regards to silver. And so it was a great week for silver appreciation for sure. Now, taking a look at palladium, at the 1 month chart, we can see we started here Monday, October 18th at 2017.85, and even palladium is up. It ended the week at 20.55 and 50 cents. So that's around a 35 to 40, somewhere in the middle, dollar increase. And so that's up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and say and consider that to be up. It's a much smaller percentage when you really think about how much palladium costs in the long haul anyways. But nevertheless, it is showing some resistance to that ever dropping number. We aren't seeing the sub 2,000 numbers yet, but we'll just have to wait and see if we do see it again, or if it just slowly climbs back up to where it was. If we take a look at the 3 month chart, we can see we are substantially lower than where we were just under 3 months ago, around 26 to 2,500. Same thing with silver. We're looking at 24.45 for spot price, and right around 3 months ago, it was at 25.57. So we're getting close to 3 month highs for silver. And so that's something to definitely take note of, because, you know, maybe it's time to hold off a little bit on silver. Now, if you don't have enough silver, I don't think it's a bad time to buy, but this would probably be my last buy, or last on the list of things to buy at the current time, so to speak. But with palladium, it definitely is up a little bit. Will that upward momentum hold? Will it go back down? Only time will tell. But it's interesting stuff to look at these charts. Overall, all the metals are up across the board, so I hope you voted all metals up. But what we're going to do right now is go over and take a look at that community post that I posted towards the beginning of the week to see what you all had to say. Okay, everyone, and so it looks like we got some good results from the poll posted towards the beginning of the week. We got about 150 votes, and 34% of you said all metals up, 23% of you said all metals down, 37% said sideways all week, 5% said platinum up and palladium down, and 0% of you said mixed comment below. But there were some comments, so we'll have to see what those comments said. Overall, we got 11 likes, so not too bad. But as far as the comments are concerned, looks like West Coast Stacker said, I've been voting sideways for a while. I presume $50 up or down for gold is sideways. Breaking resistance, I count as up or down. Okay, I can understand that, and I can totally agree with kind of that logic and thinking, in that, you know, gold moves at $50, and the overall percentage of the price is not that large. You know, if something like silver moved $50, that would be double. That would be a 200% increase or decrease, and it can't go down $50. So I totally understand where you're coming from with that West Coast Stacker, and I somewhat agree with you, my friend. I mean, gold really has to break that $50 up or down to really be considered an up or down. But, you know, for this type of thing, I like to kind of give a little leeway for those who voted. But, I mean, it's all for fun anyways. Everyone has a different perspective, but I appreciate your input, West Coast Stacker. I really do, my friend. Pistol Packing Pilot said, down, baby, down. I'm telling you, massive dip coming. Well, unfortunately, everything was up. Even if it was just up a little bit, everything was up, PPP. But, you know, I'm with you, my friend. Like, I want to see it go down, and I was thinking it would go down, but we'll just have to wait and see, right? It might still go down. I'm not giving up on hope yet, but we'll just have to wait and see, my friend. Benny said gold down, but platinum to the moon. Well, I mean, both metals were really up in a sense. And so you were right in saying platinum is up, and it's not really showing any sign of slowing down. So we'll just have to see. I mean, will we increase another 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks next week? We might. I don't know that gold will be able to do that, but platinum very well could, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion. But thank you for your comment, Benny. Up next, we got Cash and Coins. Said up, but now Bitcoin is selling in the stock market ETF, so who knows? I'll have to look into that because I hadn't heard about the Bitcoin stock market ETF. That's interesting stuff. I'm not a big crypto guy myself, but nevertheless, it definitely is interesting that Bitcoin is now trading in a stock market ETF. So we will have to see if that has any impact on precious metals or what have you. It's definitely interesting stuff. Bionic Fishy Fish said, listen, this poll has become a proxy war in the power struggle that exists between Fishy Fish and Triple P for prediction extraordinaire. Similar to how Rocky IV was a proxy war for the Cold War of USA versus the USSR. Like Rocky IV, this battle may go into the deep rounds, but the pride of Florida, the Iron Seahorse, the man, the myth, the legend, the ultimate meatball, the bionic Fishy Fish will knock out Triple P, aka the Crop Duster. All medals to the moon. That's a great comment, Bionic Fishy Fish. I really appreciate it, my friend, and I love this war going down between you and PPP. I mean, I absolutely love it, and we'll have to see. I mean, silver is getting really close to that $25 number. I mean, I'm sure PPP is like, I don't know what's going to happen. Now, that's not to say it's going to hold at the 25, but in my opinion, if it breaks 25, I think that kind of gives it to you as far as silver. I'd love to hear your prediction on, or the price point at which you think gold and platinum and other metals need to break to mean that they are just going to go up. But I know $25, I believe, is your number for silver, and we are close to it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Bionic Fishy Fish, you might be proven correct, my friend. And that wraps up all the comments for this week's poll. I appreciate everyone who commented, liked, and even just simply voted in the poll. These polls are a lot of fun, and this video series has been a lot of fun. So I plan on continuing it week in and week out just to see you all's thoughts on how the weeks are going to go and things of that nature. But with all that being said, be sure to hit that like button on your way out. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with future updates on the Platinum Beast channel. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Did this week end up like you wanted it to? Did it not? Let me know all that down below. With all that being said, until next time, we'll see y'all.